Did I just mix two different songs?
You did, but I'm ready.
Where was I going with that? What's the original one? That's not where I was at.
Oh.
But
that's the third one. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know how I want to start this week.
It's hey y'all.
Hey Saints.
Hey.
Hello Saints. Hi Saints. Hey Saints. Hey there, hi there, ho there. Side note, before that reminded me. Hey there, hi there, ho there reminded me. Watching Stuart Little.
Ooh, see if I remember that one.
They had a greeting with the family. It was like little high, little low, little hey, little ho.
Yes.
And I remember being at a church service.
No.
We were visiting a church, and one of the girls from our youth group, she had a baby, right? And I was like,
you didn't call her a little hoe, did you?
No.
Oh.
However, I did say that to her, and her aunt, who is my god sister, was like, I heard what you called her. Whoa. Wow.
You didn't mean
why would
it.
I call this baby a little hoe? I wouldn't do that. Why would I do that? Child. I said, oh.
That's crazy.
I was like 10, because she was born in 2000. She and my niece were born, my little cousin were born in 2000.
Mm-hmm.
It's the year 2000. How old was I in 2000?
King Zero carried the one.
Ooh.
19.
12. I'm 12 years old. Why would I call this little baby a her name? Why would I call anybody a hoe when I was 12? I think I probably was calling. No, I wasn't calling people hoes. My favorite word. We don't have to get into that. I'm already apologizing for something else today.
It's a safe space.
So my favorite word was always slut, right? So I would call people sluts when
I was too safe.
People in child, you were 4. People in inanimate objects, like,
first of all, back then in the year of our Lord 2000, I was just surprised we all didn't get it, because remember back then it was supposed to be like the end of the world.
We were supposed to get up out of here. Oh my god. Watch night service going in 2000 was traumatizing.
Listen, everybody brought all the food.
The way we brought 2000 in,
baby,
and the people were
like,
weeping and welling and running around the church after we counted down.
Listen,
and we were like,
they said it's gonna be Last Supper. How old was I then? I was 7, 6, 7, somewhere in there. 6, 7. Anyway.
You the birthday.
Boom. Okay. Hot like fire. I'm the candle. I still need to research that and see what that means, because I'm learning.
He's not hip like me, guys.
Speaking of hips, don't break yours. Anyway, but also speaking of like time and vintage, I'm getting used to. I don't know why the camera has me looking like a vintage 90s VHS tape, but I like it, kind of.
Listen, we love the 90s. The 90s was a good time. Depending on what you're looking at, the 90s was a fun time. Now, if you were old enough in the 90s, this is so random. Here we go. Welcome back to Tangents. If you were of age in the 90s, would you have found yourself down to the Freaknik?
Yes. I had to think about that one. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Because honestly, as an adult now, I'm mad they're not here. Because that. But also, knowing all of what transpired in those environments was not safe for women. So
no,
not all the time. So yeah,
and it didn't start like that. It did land that way, but
yeah. But also similar situation with like bike week and all that, in Myrtle Beach and all, because that was a thing, right? If you didn't go to Freaknik, you went to both. Same situation though, like women found themselves at the center of abuse and sexual assault and all that stuff, and I'm like, what's going on? How is this? Like, yeah, I'm all for doing the freaky stuff, being freaky, doing all that, but like, where are like the safeguards? Like, where does it?
There's something about men that, I don't know. I don't know.
It's just a savage mentality. Because why
so
y'all ripping this
rare
woman's
to
clothes
see
off?
it's so rare to see those behaviors from women, but it is so prevalent to see those behaviors exhibited from men, and I don't know what that's about.
No. We know exactly what that's about.
Okay.
We know exactly what that's about. But then we'll get into the conversation about like disparities of power disparities, and hierarchy and patriarchy and all that, and people don't want to take accountability. And I try and keep my words when it comes to the traits to a minimum, because what good do your words do when they don't understand you?
Well, and actually, I think when I say I don't, the things that I question, right, is seeing a lot of these people who do horrendous things, and I'm like, but you had a pretty good upbringing. Like, you weren't necessarily raised to do the things that you have done. How did you get there? How did you get there? Grape? How did you get there?
You got to cut it out.
No, because people they use grape because of the social media
block. Yes, right. But yeah, no, yes.
How did you get there?
Yeah.
Now there are a lot of cases where also, the abuse is something that is it didn't spring up out of nowhere. No. Those are behaviors that were exhibited in the family and things like that. There are a lot of cases like that. But for those who grew up, whether it was a single parent home or not, but you grew up with being instilled with certain values, and you still went that. How? I don't know. How did you land there?
I don't.
Maybe it could be a situation like, you landed in the hands and the care of somebody harmful as like a mentor, like with Justin Bieber was with Usher. I want to say no. Usher, going back. Usher was with Diddy for a second.
Okay.
And Usher's mom came and got him. It's like, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah. Get that. Okay. Anyway. You could
where you landed in the care or under the counsel of somebody who teaches you some terrible things.
But you know what? That also goes back to our other episode when we spoke about like the power of influence and not underestimating the power of influence, because sometimes it's not always that that deep, for lack of a better word, but sometimes it is just a lapse in judgment because you are being influenced by someone like you just described, or either you're in an environment to where everybody's saying yeah, let's do it, and you're like, in the back of your mind like, I should be saying no, but I'm not going to, because I don't want to be picked on, or I don't want to be seen as weird, or be outed from this group. I'm with my boys, they're all, this is what we're doing, so I just gotta go in the number, right? Everybody else is ripping her clothes off, so maybe I should rip her clothes off too, because I don't want to be seen as weird or whatever. So it's the whole thing of like acceptance and the moral compass, moral fiber, and groupthink, all that stuff. It all plays a part in it. But going back to what you said about how someone has been reared, I really do believe that that's where that comes into play, right? So now you are in the group. you and your homeboys, and they're doing something that's inappropriate and that you know is inappropriate, something that you would not do otherwise, right? Are you going to stand on what you were raised with? Is what has been instilled in you going to, you know, rear up and speak out? Hey, I know we're having a good time and all this, but this ain't right. This ain't. We know better. I know better. I can't sit through this, right? Get this woman up off the. Let her go. She's just passing through the crowd. She don't know
Yeah.
us. She's not a stripper. She's not. She didn't. We are paying her for this. Okay, she did not agree to this, and this ain't right.
Right.
But accountability. But I guess that's a theme of today. Accountability
That
and everything, and doing the things
is
and
a theme for today.
calling your people.
Yeah. Now, I'm gonna do this real quick before we get into our regular segments. Speaking of accountability and being called in, we talk often about how a lot of people will say and do abhorrent things and not apologize or to issue a half-ass apology.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
He cursed, guys. Anyway,
He said bad word.
And so I was called to the table just this morning for some posts that I made. I've been struggling with my weight, right? I've been gaining weight and I've been feeling a little way about it on myself, you know. But I made a post using a clip from the Shears where Kiara's like, I'm morbid obese.
That is so
And
big.
that's what she said. And that clip was always funny to me. Like when I watched the show, it was so funny to me because I was like, girl, not the fact of being obese, but just the fact that she was like, I'm morbid obese instead of morbidly.
Yes.
Because girl, English. Anyway, so I posted a clip, and my intention was not and is never to be harmful to others. I was kind of poking fun at myself, but I was called to the table because my post could be viewed as harmful to others and as fat phobic. And so I want to take the time to apologize to anybody who may have been offended by my post, as again, it is never my intention to be harmful to others. It is never my intention to be offensive. It is never my intention to demean others. So I offered that apology. The posts have been removed. Yeah, because as we say often, Jesus spoke of the greatest commandment being to love God, love your neighbor, and loving your neighbor as you love yourself. Now, when it comes to loving our neighbor,
Revelation,
like we said before, loving others means to do no harm. And in me loving you all and loving people in general, that means I cannot do harm to others. Now I saw your antenna go up, and I feel like I know what you're going to say. So, but I'll let you say it.
No, I don't. It might be something different, but no, I just had a revelation about like yes, okay. I just had a quick little revelation, like it clicked for me. You know, couple things about what you just said. First thing, I commend you on holding yourself accountable and also being receptive to the idea that maybe you did have a misstep, although as unintentional as it may have been, right? Kudos for you. Kudos to you for doing that and apologizing publicly and everything. That's what we need more of in the world today. All right, because what you did and what you all that was completely unintentional, right? And instead of you taking offense to someone pointing something out to you and doubling down on the thing, you took it and you did right by it, and you did right by everybody and yourself.
Well, yes, but I'm also one that understands that intention and impact are not the same thing.
Period.
Those are two different things.
Absolutely.
The way that I intended things and the way they impacted others. Two separate things.
Because again, harm and being intentional and all that, I did not mean to harm you, but yet you were still harmed in the process. So I have to still take accountability for that. So yeah, that's the first thing, because there are people who are intentionally and deliberately foul to other people, and they don't care. So anyway, now as far as the revelation is concerned, it seems very like duh, but like I just got it. That is why community is so very important. That is why being in community with others who are not essentially exactly like you, who are from other communities and other representations of people and demographics of people, is so very important, because sometimes we do things that we are unaware of because we are not associated with certain demographics in certain ways, and we're not represented in the world. So I'm not
we have our blind spots.
We have our blind spots. Okay. So having other people who represent other communities inside of our communities gives us insight to the things that we wouldn't be privy to otherwise, right? That is the learning, that is the sharing, that is the growing, that is the purpose of one of the purposes of community. And with that said, scripture you wrote about, like, doing to your neighbor as you would. If you're not in a community, you don't have a neighbor. In order to have a neighbor, you have to be in community.
Yeah.
That was my revelation. Neighbors, community, sharing, caring, growing, learning, loving.
I love that.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's lean into more of that.
Yes.
Hearing out those from the community, not being quick to jump to.
I didn't mean that way. Y'all just super sensitive. I didn't mean it like that.
Y'all says you can't say nothing.
You can't say nothing nowadays.
Everything is all offensive. Shut up.
Just because you're okay with being abused doesn't mean everybody else has to.
And it's not even the thing where you're okay with being abused, because let somebody say something that triggers you and watch you pop off.
Guess who you talking to? What you mean by that? You want me?
Well, I'm not going to let anybody talk to me any kind of way. Okay. So keep that same energy.
Keep that same. Oh, you know what? That we're also. Never mind, we're going to get off another tangent. I ain't going to do it. We're not going to.
What's that?
Someone highlighted like how the definition of crime and crimes against people varies from person to person, and the disparities of power. Somebody on social media. I think it's a social media person. I can't remember his name exactly. Anyway, he's basically saying how someone in a position of power was making a decision to do something, build like a data center or something like that in a community, and against the community's will, right? Everybody's like, no, we don't want this here. But he was like, I'm gonna do it anyway. And then something tragic happened to he and his family. And he characterized what happened to he and his family as a crime, right? A violent crime. But yet what he was doing to the community was okay. It wasn't a crime. It wasn't seen as a crime. Okay. And the social media person, the person I was watching this from, he was basically highlighting how you don't get to decide that. Like, they're both crimes. That it's unfortunate that what happened to you happened, but of course you can't negate the fact that what happened to you was a direct result of the crime that you were committing against this community.
You are harming the community.
You are harming the community. So you don't get to say, oh, well, when I do it to you, it's okay. But when you do it to me, it's wrong.
Harm was done to me. So let's call the cops. I'm in a position of potentially causing harm to hundreds and thousands of people. That's just business. Okay.
It's just politics. It is what it is. That's just what we do.
Okay.
It's just the way it is. Sure.
Okay.
Spray that man's house.
Yeah. They're just like white people. Anyway, if we want to talk the history of things, but that ain't what we came here for today.
That's not
what we came here for today. That's another conversation for another day.
Mm-hmm. Mhm.
But just put a pin in that.
Yeah.
Now clock that. Anyway, so let's get into the show because we running that clock up already.
And we are determined. We're doing it. We're keeping them.
We gonna try. We're gonna try. We did real good these last 2 episodes.
We did.
Hey guys, we did real good. Amen. So, let's get into our first segment that we call our Gospel Spotlight. And this week, I want to highlight none other than Dewayne Woods. Claps. Dewayne Woods, a longtime member of Donald Lawrence and the Tri-City Singers before they were disbanded. And Dewayne, who has such a nice, smooth tone.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's one of those singers that's kind of like Questlove on the drums.
Okay.
Questlove says that he gets to where he gets because he likes to sit in the pocket.
Yeah.
Dewayne is much like Questlove to me. Like he's in the pocket. He's smooth.
He knows his
instrument. Going to get you where you. He knows his instrument. He's going to get you what you need. He's going to get you where you need to go. Popular songs of his, you have "Let Go, Let God," written by PJ Morton. Everybody knows that song. Everybody loves that song. That is one of those songs that you can even put on at a. I was gonna say in a club. I would more likely see that at a drag show.
Or if somebody mixed it, made like a little house mix situation.
Yes. Yes, I said I gotta stop doing that. Anyway, yes, I love a shimmy. So we have shimmy. That one, and then you have God Is also with that one's with Donald Lawrence and the Tri-City Singers. Personal favorites of mine, he has a song called "Friend of Mine" featuring Dave Hollister and Anthony Hamilton. And my personal favorite song of his, there's a song says, I don't want to be deceived because a heart is prone to lie. I can't rely on what I think. I need to always renew my mind. I have this yearning deep within that only you can satisfy. So draw me to you. I think that is one of the most beautifully written songs I've ever heard in my life. And that is called I Want to Be Where You Are.
Oh, I love that. I
love that song so god dang much. I love it. So yes, I just wanted to take the time to give flowers to Dewayne Woods.
We love him.
He's important. Okay?
Very much so.
And we love him.
Steeped in the fabric. We bless God.
Yes. Now, let's move on into our next segment, which we call Nope.
No, we
I
don't.
did the same thing last week.
You hold your horses.
We get into our next segment, which we call The Quiet Part.
I like that. That's good.
This week, we are in the hands of our good brother. We never said who we were. It don't matter. Y'all know who we are. We are in the hands of our other favorite queer saint, Zamir.
God bless you. God bless you, man of God. It's so good to be here in this house, this beautiful edifice. When he called me to come and speak, no. Okay, whatever. Because protocol has already been established. I'll just move on with the order of the service. God bless you all. I won't be before you long. There is a topic I wanted to discuss: religious psychosis, and we talk about it all the time. And we talk about it. We make mention of it, topic to topic. And I've just really noticed that as of late, especially in this economy and with this social order that we're in right now. It is causing people to do a lot of harm to themselves and others. A lot of people are suffering, and they believe it's in the name of Christ, and that it would give them some kind of like eternal soul salvation if they, as old folks would say, cut the nose to spite their face. And it's just really, it's sad to see. I saw one clip on social media. There was a young lady. Now, before I get into this, I do want to say that I try not to stand in judgment of anybody's walk, any spiritual level, just as long as it's not harmful to yourself and to those around you. Okay. But I will say it just does not align with logic to say that, you know, you're causing this type of harm and suffering to yourself, and it's going to get you at a certain point. It's akin to a mental instability, and that's part of the thing that we aren't saying, right? Like I said, saw a clip of a young lady. He said that she gave up her job, her home, all of her possessions, and all that stuff to essentially be unhoused, willingly, which that works for some people. And you know, if that's your portion, if that's the life you wish to lead, and all of that, kudos to you, more power to you, God bless you. However, you getting on social media and you making it a thing and saying that, you know, this is all in the name of Christ, and this is what, you know, this is what my call is, and this and the other. I just don't see it being fruitful for you or anybody else, and I don't see how that's productive, in any way. Because also, if this is what you believe, why did Christ sacrifice? If we have been saying it all now, not to, I know it's been like an overly simplified version of the thing, or like an overly simplistic view of the sacrifice, but if we say in jest or for whatever reason that Jesus paid it all, what more do you owe, beloved? I've come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. Where is the abundance in that? I'm not understanding how you're adding to your life or to anything in your journey, your spiritual journey, if you just giving it all up. You see what I'm saying? It just doesn't make any sense. What was it all for, right?
Real quick, can we define religious psychosis real quick?
Oh, okay.
So
go ahead.
I pulled up a definition. It says religious psychosis is a condition where individuals experience psychotic symptoms intertwined with religious or spiritual themes. It typically involves delusions, strongly held false beliefs, and hallucinations, which are sensory experiences without external stimuli.
Period.
So, yes, that is how religious psychosis is defined. Now, when you get into the hallucinations and delusions and strongly held false beliefs, you kind of have to decode that, because it's kind of high level talk. Let's bring it to the church.
Right. That's a different beast. I don't want to get in. I don't want to muddy the waters, but a lot of times that's associated with like certain disorders that people may have, because it was a sign. That was a sign, like, okay, this person has a thing, and they would become like this religious tyrant type thing, and they would sometimes the episodes they would get in these like episodes, and they would be characterized by the religious psychosis. Right, everybody's going to hell. Everybody's is a sinning, poor, heathen, this, that, and the other, and it just got to be nonsensical, and there was not a thread there. Now, here in what we're describing as it concerns the church, it's more of a lesser version of the similar thing. It is not that
it's
far
not
into the spectrum, right?
Psychotic break,
right? This is more of like a brainwashing type thing,
exactly. Which is where the strongly held false beliefs can come in, because you internalize these beliefs, and then you push them out
Yeah.
onto others
Yeah.
because you're holding on to them so strongly.
Because it was like an indoctrination of misinformation. And
Yes.
it was used, unbeknownst to you, it was used as a form of control. And so now that's all you know, that's all you're leaning on, that's all you're leaning into, for whatever reason. A lot of times it's because you're dissatisfied with the way your life is. But baby, it ain't you. It ain't your prayers. A lot of the times it's capitalism. It's what you're born into, what you inherited. Okay, the fact
It is
that you
the way
are.
that you were conditioned.
Thank you. You were conditioned to sacrifice yourself for the greater good of the people. Again, going back to religious psychosis as it concerns community, being in community with others, or not being in community with others, attacking other communities. It's happening more and more. The young man from the Chicago Bulls.
Yes. What's his name? Was it
Jaden.
Ivy?
Mm-hmm. Yes. He went on his rant.
Jaden Ivy.
He went on his homophobic rant or whatever, about like, oh, these people aren't saved, the NBA's not saved, and everybody's going to hell because everybody's supporting the gay.
The NBA was hosting their Pride events, or were scheduled to host their Pride events, and he was like, you got the NBA and the world proclaiming the LGBT and Pride for them, where what you're doing is celebrating unrighteousness.
Now, and also with that, my question is, why is it that every time y'all want to get holy, or every time you want to talk about Jesus, that you want to stand on the Bible and the Word of God, it's only in context to, or only in relation to, homosexuality?
Yeah. Why is that?
Why is that? So you ain't seen any devilment. You ain't seen any sin. You ain't seen anything anybody's ever done in the NBA up until that point. Everybody has been holy up until that point.
Now, to be fair, in this case, because people were kind of painting it as the Bulls dismissed him from the team because he was out here proclaiming the truth. It's only the truth when it's about gay folks anyway.
Right.
But the truth was that even in the locker rooms and stuff, he was talking to the players. It's like, who in here has had premarital sex? You're unrighteous. And all he was a religious nut behind the scenes.
Okay, and
that's where we're at.
That's where we're at. We have too many religious nuts and not enough spiritual fruit going around here. Okay, people,
nuts and fruit.
Come on, somebody. But yeah, that was a quote that one of my choir directors had on their door years ago, and it's just stuck with me because that's the issue. Too many people are doing things that are too closely associated with mental instability and saying in the name of Christ. But also, I don't know what more we can expect sometimes, though, because too often destruction has ensued in the name of Christianity, right? It was used to justify slavery. And some people, they've been taught that, okay, well, in order for me to get to heaven, gotta suffer. And I gotta endure this thing. And so that's what's been playing in your mind. So it's like the Pavlov thing. It's a direct association with pain and gain type thing. And brothers and sisters, we need to free ourselves because you got him and then you got old boy from the Tyler Perry situation.
Oh God.
Now you are, and I'm just gonna call it out. I don't know what his sexuality is, but you are essentially playing a bisexual character on a show that is overtly sexual and gay in nature.
Overtly.
Like just out there. Like we are talking things swinging, other things jiggling, humping, heavy breathing, blowing. All of it. And You need to cut it out. Also, and then it's associated. It's by someone who's already been associated with different things through the decades. Okay, why would you get on social media and do this public thing against the very thing that you're being paid to do?
Listen, maybe in his head he's like, I'm not a doctor, I just play one on TV. You remember when people used to say that?
Yeah.
I'm not a gay, I just play one on TV. Okay. All right. You know, when you're acting, right? As somebody who is an actor.
Yes. We see
you. I need you to understand that your brain does not separate things. Your brain doesn't know that we're playing pretend. Your brain is in it.
You're tapping into something.
That's how that works. Your body doesn't know that. Oh, this is all make believe. That's not how that works. But aside from that, it's very much like you said. Okay, sir, you have this view where you feel like the gays are going to hell. You're playing a gay on a very gay show by a man who has shown his hand and his slip multiple times over the years, even down to the casting of these shows, which I feel like is part of the reason why you are even on the show, because you fit what he's looking for.
Yeah, he ain't never had no help picking on men, because he know what. Now I was gonna say, he know what the people like to see. He knows that, he's privy to that. But that also comes from a very intimate. I was gonna say that comes from a very intimate understanding. Okay, a very personal thing. Anyway, if you're part of the people and the people are you people you represent, you know. Anyway, because green grass grow all around and around.
You can't present and represent anything that you're not connected. All right. Okay.
So, and then you got, because again, you're aligning yourself with the thing. That's like, you are promoting this product, you're doing the thing, but you don't use the product. And then you expect us to buy the product and do this, that, and the other, and then take anything that you have to say seriously. I mean, you've been the face of Colgate all these years or whatnot, but you use Crest behind the scenes, and it doesn't bode well.
Or even, you are known, as another example, you're known to being good friends with the queers and being surrounded by the queers and them helping you out in your career and
I know you're
all
going.
These things. And then you get up at church and condemn gays to hell and say that they're nasty and they got a spirit and require deliverance. But you're
literally sitting next to him. When
the
you sit
community
back down,
the community that you sit with, and then you
can't.
Okay.
One drove you to the church. One picked you up from the airport.
Did your hair, baby?
Okay. You didn't have to do that. That last part. You didn't have to do that.
I'm sorry. My intention is never.
You didn't have to do that. Also,
yeah.
Going back really quickly to Tyler, since we were on him. Aside from whatever he got going on with his own sexualities, whatever, I want us in the Black community to start calling a thing a thing. Okay, when it comes to, like I said, sexuality and all that aside, when it comes to elements of theater and acting and all of that, okay, the foundations of theater, misogyny and all that stuff wouldn't allow a lot of women to be in those spaces. So men would dress as women, right? A lot of times they use little boys. So you got the misogyny, you got perversion, and all that stuff, all those different things. And men are afraid to be who they really were, and they would use, those misogyny and whatnot as vehicles to express themselves in that way. Right. because women don't have the thing. I've got to play a woman now. Right? So fast forwarding to here, Tyler Perry. Why aren't we calling this thing drag? That's what I'm getting to. That I just need to get straight to it.
Because everybody to operate in the church requires cognitive dissonance. It's gonna require it every single time to try to make sense of your life in contention with the text, and to make sure it makes sense of the things that you like in the context of the text. Like it requires cognitive dissonance, and so for you to enjoy this man in a dress,
you can't call it drag.
You would normally condemn if it's the trans girl on the street. You have to say, oh, this is just entertainment, and it's not drag. This isn't drag.
But that is that, and they.
But that's
they're
drag,
going to hell,
and that's that gay stuff. Okay,
but this is church. This is
church.
Is.
Oh, this is church comedy.
Yeah, but see,
so it's not drag.
And that's exactly the point. This dissonance that we have mentally causes a schism, and now nothing's flowing properly. Now you're not thinking straight, and now you think that you willingly giving up your things and willingly struggling and all the stuff in the name of Christ is what you're supposed to be, because you've been living in denial. You've been living in this dissonance. You've caused this mental break, this schism, and that's stop it, my people. Call the thing the thing.
I don't think we ever sit with the fact that the church has led to a lot of mental illness. In people.
Yes.
I said on Facebook the other day that I don't think that people ever sit with the ways that they cause mental anguish to queer people. And to take that further, I don't think that people don't ever sit with the ways that they do these mental gymnastics in order to be faithful.
Yes. Yeah.
And how it distorts the way that they think and process.
Literally.
And then that gets projected onto everybody else.
And they are not aware that, baby, literally your brain is wired completely different now that you have been able to allow your pastor to call you a fag. And you still serve.
But isn't that what it means to be a Christian? You let the Holy Spirit change you and rewire you.
You might have the bipolar disorder or whatever, but you're not getting the treatment that you need because your mom and your daddy, your grandma and everybody, they can pray it out you.
We're gonna pray it away.
Or
you got diabetes, but you're not taking your medicine.
Lean not to your
God's
own understanding.
Gonna heal me.
Yeah. We defer to those things because we don't want to do the work, or we are afraid, again, maybe because the mental rewiring or whatnot in your brain won't allow you to do anything otherwise because you're afraid. You think that God's going to send down fire and brimstone if you go to a therapist, or if you eat something healthier. If you don't eat what the church prepares for you at every function or whatever, or you do something outside of what you know or what you've been taught.
Or even with that, even coming down to skipping church to go to social events.
You're going to hell. Straight there.
Babe, what's the worst that can happen from you being yourself? What's the worst that can happen from you taking care of yourself? What's the worst that can happen from you taking time to enjoy life and taking a break when you need one? What's the worst that can happen? I know what the worst that you feel can happen is hell. And that there is also part of this whole religious psychosis thing, because the control aspect of it is the oh, you're going to go to hell.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and another one. Let's not forget another way people rationalize a thing or like coerce themselves into going. Well, I go to work every day, so I have to go to church.
You're getting paid to. If you don't, man that don't work don't eat. That's what the Bible says.
You just made yourself a slave. Now
the Bible also says we are supposed to be slaves to Christ.
You've just excused your exhaustion. Actually, you just extended your exhaustion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because again, like what we said, y'all, pastors telling you to take out loans to sow seeds that you can't afford. Okay, if you want you trying to put it on the same level, but if you don't work, how your bills gonna get paid? Are you gonna have money to live the way you want? And then you'll be you'll be in the public bathrooms and down there at the Planet Fitness and the gyms and whatever else, whoever will let you in there, talking about you doing this for Christ. But now also in the same community, okay, where your churches down the block, right? You just sacrifice your whole life for the church. They won't let you sleep on the park benches out in front of it because they put guardrails there. You can't lay on it no more.
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't want unhoused people there.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go to the bus stations and do it. They'll arrest you. Or you find yourself in an ICE concentration camp somewhere.
Yeah.
Anyway, there are lines.
Going back to different videos. I also saw a video. This young lady was talking about how she was in when she was in her religious psychosis. She said she had a dream about this young man.
And Martin Luther.
In this dream was like wedding cake. And she said she used to take her dreams so seriously and she would try to interpret them. She had a dream book and all of that stuff. And she went to this young man. Mind you, she had only met this young man once because he popped up at a Bible study one time. She went to this young man and she said,
yes,
showing him her dream book, "The Lord has shown me that you are to be my husband." And that ended with her being blocked.
Because you are crazy.
Blocked across all media. Yeah. And then, she said, after coming out of her psychosis, which that's how she referred to it, she said it really didn't make any sense because I'm gay. Girl, what is happening? But you see how it don't make no sense? You see how it didn't make sense? You see how that doesn't make sense?
Mm-mm.
But I think that is also a very common thing. I've heard that plenty times over the years. I've heard that since I was a little kid. People being like, "Oh, God told me so and so was supposed to be my husband." Apparently, some lady when my parents got engaged came up and was like, "Oh no, God told me that's supposed to be my husband." Girl, these folks been married now. This year's gonna make 39 years.
What?
Hello?
But also, a lot of times people, when it comes to like being Delulu and also believing God to do the miraculous, right?
Mm-hmm.
And manifesting things, and we talked about it before when it comes to like, oh, God's gonna do it. It's all about like what's aligned and all of that. Like it's here, baby. It's like be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Like there are steps, there are different things, and like too many of the things are overlapped, and things are being conflated, and there's not enough understanding in how that works. Yes, you believe in God to do the miraculous thing. Amen. Praise God. But it follows a certain logic, right? You not knowing how he's going to do it, right, is not the same as saying it's not going to make sense, right? It's not the same as saying God's going to do something that doesn't make sense. Because God's not the author of confusion, right? That's what are we preaching here? Okay? You might not know how it's going to work. You might not be able to see the thing. That's part of the miracle. I didn't see it before because but God has the aerial view, right? He's omniscient, omnipresent. He sees what I can't right now because I'm seeing what's in front of me, right? But I have the faith to believe that God's going to work it out. It should stop there. But yet you want to go in your own delusions, your own things, because again, your brain's being rewired in a way that just doesn't make sense and it's nonsensical. And you make these missteps. You overstep, right? Sometimes you don't step at all. You should be stepping. Okay.
You said something in there that stuck out to me, where there's a lack of education, and then you take a bunch of different things and you mix them all together.
You don't know what's what. You don't know what's what.
And like you talked about the manifestation and all that stuff. You throw all these things together in a bag.
Yeah.
And then it only helps to feed the delusion.
Yes.
Especially when you don't understand context of things, and you just, well, I know about this, and I know about this, and I know about this, and I know if this is this and this are all in the word, then they all must go together. And 2 + 2, it's got to equal 8.
You put that transmission oil in that gas tank if you want to. See what's gonna happen.
It's all oil.
Nope. All oil ain't the same. All oil ain't anointed equally. Just saying.
I got it. So there's that. And I think, it becomes.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Now I was just gonna say, I think I got off on my tangent, and I was talking about like community and how those things are used to divide us, and that my purpose of using the example of Jaden and the fellow from the Tyler Perry and all that, it's keeping you from community, right? It's keeping you from good people who can help you and help you grow and be better than you are right now. Just as in the same way that you were made privy to the thing that you were unaware of before, right? Because you're in community with other people who represent other things other than what you know.
Yes.
And in this case, the religious psychosis and the religious dogma and the misinformed indoctrinations are keeping these people from each other.
Yeah.
It's dividing us.
Yeah. I will also say, because I think a lot of things that I'm seeing now, I feel like present day religious psychosis is a new buzzword, and they're they're kind of lumping everything in there, and I don't feel like everything is not religious psychosis, babes. Like I said earlier, some things is just social conditioning. But I will also point out, Jaden Ivy is 24 years old.
Yeah.
And it is something about the young and fresh babes in Christ. They be having that passion and that vigor, and they just go, and they don't, having zeal without lived experience and without knowledge is a terrible thing. It's a dangerous combination. And I think that is also something that we're missing in a lot of these conversations, is that these be young folks who are not fully developed in that prefrontal cortex and ain't lived life yet. And all they know is, well, this is supposed to be wrong, so it's wrong. And they know shame because they were raised in shame. And they know fear because they were raised in fear.
Absolutely.
And they push those things, and those be the loudest. Oh my God, they be the loudest voices. The loudest, because I'm so zealous, because I'm
on fire for Christ.
I'm on fire, and I got this new knowledge. I want everybody to know it, and I want everybody to be saved, and I want everybody.
I'm right, you're wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Keep living, baby. Keep
Yeah.
living.
It's something about when you keep living that tends to shed those things away.
Yeah. And
you tend to stop talking about things that you don't have experience with because of the things that you have experienced. And you're like, oh.
This is actually how it works. This is not exactly how I was taught or I was told. Because again, what I want people to know, especially younger Black people coming from certain environments, your people only give you what they have from their own lived experiences. So if people ain't ever made it outside of where you're from or haven't traveled outside, they would not really know the truth of what's outside of where you're from. Everything will be a guess of what's on the other side of the wall. I heard stories about these creatures that were on side, so I never left the wall, right? Or I never ventured out in the ocean because I've heard stories from sailors about it. Meanwhile, the sailors were just bored and they were just making stuff up to make their adventure sound more grand than what they really were.
Yeah.
Because they were at sea for months.
Here you are judging the entire world from what you can see from your window.
Well, I heard
at your house.
Oh, I don't want to go up here because I heard it was like, I saw they was doing like this. You ain't here to see nothing, baby. You ain't never been outside of the county lines. Relax.
You don't know.
You don't know. You just made that up.
You don't know anybody that has lived these experiences. You don't know. Going back to the community piece, because you ain't left. You don't have that community. You don't have that exposure to know and to learn and to understand. And that's one thing that would help in a lot of these situations, is to sit and to try to understand other people.
That's it. Be in community.
Different people.
And
like you said at the top of the show, being in community with people who are different than you.
Yes.
That can see your blind spots.
Yes. That's true unity. Okay. Not uniformity, but unity.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody we're not supposed to look alike. That's why we don't look alike. We're not supposed to act the same. That's why we don't act the same. And then, because we were taught a lot of times that whatever is innate to us or whatever, that we, in the nature of who we are sinful. We're wrong. We're this. This is dark. This is dirty. Our hearts are impure. All of these different things. So now you got all these strikes against you. You come out of the womb believing that something is wrong with you.
Yeah.
In the very nature of how God made you.
Yeah. But do you also see how that kind of teaching can also lead somebody to psychosis, to believe that you were born inherently wrong, and sinful,
and that nothing that you can do can change that, and that everything,
not a thing that you can do,
and everything that you do, and that everything that is done in your life is done by somebody else. You get no credit for anything. You get no credit for the free will that you have and using it the right way. You don't get credit in that. Anyway, I'm not.
We don't sit with these things. We don't really sit with these things. And I know for somebody that will hear that will be uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing with growth, right? Growth requires us to sit with discomfort. You ever heard of growing pains? Your knees and your joints ache as you are growing because your bones are your bones and your muscles and things are expanding. They're growing.
Plants. I love plants. But when the plant is growing, the bigger it gets, the stronger the roots get, the bigger the roots are. And eventually, you have to repot it. Otherwise, you stand the risk of the roots rotting, right? And eventually the plant dying. So, because the plant has outgrown this pot, I've got to transfer into a bigger one, right? That's why a lot of old school planters would use clay pots, because the roots will break the clay, right?
Yeah.
So when you don't do that, plant dies. The pain and all that, the discomfort that the plant feels is indication that it is growing, and also indication that it needs to change. It's changing. Another thing that people, the old school potters used to do when they would take the broken pot, right? They would put it in the bottom of the new pot. So that way it works as like an irrigation system for the roots. More room for the water to go and all that. And we're also taking some of the old soil and putting into the new pot. And it's a transferring of the thing that we're missing. Okay. We don't have to get rid of all of the old pot, but we can't stay there. Okay. We have outgrown that thing. We have now evolved into a bigger thing. We can take some of it with us, but it's just enough. It's just the parts of the thing that we need so that we can grow. Okay? Evolve, change, grow, get bigger, get better. You can do that, baby. Outgrow the pot.
And saints, that has been the bishop with a word. All right.
God bless your hearts.
The bishop had a word in his belly.
Higher!
Come on with these.
Thank you, Jesus. I didn't, and it just came to me. Put the
listen,
thank you, Lord.
We've come to the part of the service where everybody can participate, and I need 10 people with $500.
Get it in your hands.
Get it in your hands. I know it's in the house.
I know it's here.
It's in the house. It's about 30,000. We want to raise 30,000 today. It's in the house.
Yeah.
Those with the 500, I need you to line up to my left.
Please move quickly. Quick, musicians, ushers.
Go ahead.
I am screaming.
You have more that you wanted to add to the subject?
No, I feel like we rolled right along, honestly. I don't know what order everything was in, but I feel like we hit it all. One way or another.
We did. All right. Will there be one? The doors of the church are now open. Won't you come and lay down your psychosis?
Lay it down. You could be free today.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
Lay your psychosis. Lay it down. Oh, lay it down.
All right.
It's my piano.
Okay. Thank you. Yes. So, with that being said and done, we will now move on to our final segment of the show, which is my 99 cent, where we go over what we've been listening to this week and what we think you should check out. So, Zamir, what have you been listening to?
Well, I don't know what I would say. I didn't have anything. Now that you asked, though, Brik.Liam, I've been checking out his project Whiplash. I have thoroughly enjoyed it. Shout out to him. Also, my girl, yeah, whom I told you about, and
who you put me on to.
Mm-hmm. Yes. She just came out with a new single called Luber. I really like it. It's real sexy. So yeah, those two. Those who I've been listening to. What about you?
Okay, cool. I have just a few. So Deitrick, Haddon and the Hill City Collective have a new song featuring Stout. Do you know Stout?
That's my girl.
Yes.
Okay.
Called The King of Glory. That one, after a couple listens, it was one of those that popped in my head, and now I keep listening to it. I love it. Yeah. It's a little kind of feel. I don't want to say what song it reminds me of because that man is probably in prison for the rest of his life. Anyway, there's an artist named ANTHNY. I think I mentioned him before, but he has a new song with Kiera called Show Up, and there's a sample of John P. Key's Show Up in it. I really like that one. I really like him. It's ANTHNY, ANTHNY. You know, the young people don't like they don't like
spelling
vowels.
their names the old English way.
I don't know what that's about. Reginald Sharpe Jr. and Fellowship Chicago, the historic Fellowship Chicago, has a new album called The Flow. That one was pretty good.
I was just there, by the way. Love that.
Oh, you stopped by Fellowship while you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How was it?
Oh, it was such a joy. I loved it. Amen. Praise God. They sang down. Mm-hmm. It's a real sense of like community and togetherness and all that. From what I was, who else was there? Johnson, the choir and comedian.
Will.
Yes, he was there. That was a good time. It was just good. It was good. I loved it.
Okay. We love that. And we love a historic Black church. And a historic Black church that was instrumental in the civil rights movement.
Yes.
All right. Meanwhile, you new Blacks are talking about if you mention anything Black, that's racial idolatry. You niggas suck. Anyway.
And do. What would Reverend Clay Evans have to say about CCM anyway?
Reverend Clay Evans about CCM?
I wonder.
I'm sure he would say it's not my speed. I'm sure they don't sing it at that I'm sure they don't sing it at that church. Child. The amount of legendary Chicago artists that came up in that no. Anyway, now also friend of the show, Rob Milton, has dropped a new project called Everybody Loves Rob Milton. I need y'all to get into that. Listen to that. Put that on. Hit play. I didn't see it on Spotify, but I did see it on Apple Music.
Yes.
Buy, stream, all of it. And then this one, I listened to as I was writing my paper last night. I was up all night writing a paper. It's from a collective called Rockabye Baby. And these are the lullaby renditions of Beyonce's Lemonade. Yes. So
you know what, y'all y'all need to stay off the internet because y'all just be finding stuff just to be finding stuff.
Now through me
so
listening,
I can download it.
The lullaby renditions of Beyonce's Lemonade. It's so nice and soothing. It almost reminds me of the music from Steven Universe. The way that it sounds.
Like
it reminds me of
kinda.
That. Not show-tune-y, but just the instrumentation.
Okay.
Kerry Washington, as Olivia Pope would say, instrumentation. But anyway, there's also a version from that one just dropped. There's also a version from 2017 of the Beyonce self-titled album. So they also covered that one and did lullabies. It's just music. There's no words because why would you sing those words to a baby? But it's just the music and it's so soothing. And it just feels nice.
It feels very random, but
it is very random. But I am also I'm
checking it out. I'll check it out. I will be listening to it. I'll probably be listening to one of those while I'm doing deadlifts or something. Just
lullabies.
Maybe there was a trend on TikTok when people were like, what they think I'm listening to, what I'm actually listening to. That's very much me. Okay. I'm deadlifting, I'm doing all the things but it's Story of a Denied Mother blasting in my ear.
Come on, Dorothy Norwood.
All right. Yeah, that's what I'm listening to.
Okay. I love it. Clearly, I know the songs that you listed, and clearly I listened to this one because I'm me. So yes. So, guys, we have made it to the end of another episode of the Hey Saints Pod. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you. We love y'all.
We love you guys. We really do. And when we say we love you, we mean it. And when we say we love you, we also mean that we don't want to cause you any harm. Okay? So I hope that you also won't harm us with words from your mouth. We love you. We need you to survive. It's in his will that every need be supplied. You are important to us, my love.
I need you to survive.
We need you to survive.
And stay in your right mind.
Stay in your right mind. I got a sound mind. That's what Kiara said. EDDDO. Okay. All right. We're done. All right.
We out of here. Bye, y'all. Love y'all. That is so funny.